Yeah, welcome to the show. It is Ringside Report MMA Live. Tonight, we preview UFC 257. We give you some winners, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, and the rest of the UFC 257 card. We'll recap what happened over the past week in the UFC. Khabib is not coming back, and AJ loses another bet. Ringside Report MMA starts right now. AJ? Where's AJ?
What's up, man?
Get to him right off the bat. What the hell are you laughing
What's
at,
up, man?
dude? What do you got, the giggles? What's going on over there?
Listen, this was the best music that Ringside's ever played. We started off with some like really, really good like Southern music, man. That
Southern?
Snoop Dogg's. Yeah, man, it was like hillbilly music. It was great. And then it went over to like the best music you could get in a strip joint. The third round there was like awesome. I was listening to that. I'm like, I don't know who picked the music, Papa Simon, but that was totally like Montreal-style strip joint music. It was awesome.
Okay.
Good choice, Dave.
Okay,
Freddie knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Freddie knows. Those
Yeah,
are those lap
AJ's
dances
probably
that are like,
right.
you know.
Yeah,
$20 gets you a
that's
good
pretty much
song.
it.
Well, AJ's spent a
Damn, that
lot
was
of
good,
time.
Dave.
You spent a lot of time in strip clubs, AJ, as does Conor McGregor. We're going to talk about him tonight on the show. I guess John Jones is a strip club guy. Didn't he get in trouble for being a strip club at some point?
Oof, in Russia, where you name it, a country he's
in,
got in trouble.
It was in like Albuquerque. He got in trouble. There was a stripper.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
that went out. It went under the rug. That right? Remember?
Yeah, she was
he
like,
was touching her.
You can slap me in the genitals, but you have to pay for it. Remember that? And then we had the whole thing about how much would we have to pay Fred to slap him in his junk. Remember that, Fred? That was a good time.
That was like $100
Yeah.
bet, and Freddie took it. He's like, yeah, I'll do it, man, no problem.
$100 to slap Fred in the junk. UFC 257 going down this coming Saturday. We're going to be here, guys.
Yes.
We're going to be doing the watch along. I'm excited for it. We got a good pay-per-view. We got Conor McGregor in the main event. He's fighting Dustin Poirier. We got Dan Hookah and Michael Chandler in the co-main event. Jessica I. Oh, AJ is ready. Jessica I and Joanne Calderwood. Otman Azatar against Matt Frivola. I guess that'll be Fred's smoke break of the pay-per-view, right, Fred? I mean, come on. Let's be honest here. Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Ribas opening up the pay-per-view. We will be with you here coming up Saturday night, 10 p.m. for the watch-along for UFC 257. Watch the pay-per-view with us here on the Ringside Report Network. Give a shout-out to Lauren Cronish. Give a shout-out to Wobbly Up watching on Twitch. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook Live, and we're here on YouTube. Wobbly Up watching on Twitch. Lauren is watching. Johnny North is watching. Habs Fan for Life is watching. So shout out to everybody watching us live. We appreciate you in the chat, keeping us going, keeping it active. Don't forget to super chat as well and become a member of the Ringside Report Network. Become a member of the YouTube channel. We appreciate you becoming a member, joining. That way you get special emojis in the chat. You get your name out there. It's a lot fancier. What's happening to me? Did I just move? I don't know. There's music playing now.
Sitting there?
Something happened to my video. I got moved. Why is there music? Kill the music.
I love it, Dave. No, let it play, man. This
And why
is
are
like
Fred
the
and AJ
presidential march,
small
man.
now? What happened? The production team is working on new production, in case you can't tell. And now there's music.
And it looks good.
Cut my music! Cut the music! There you go.
Is like that was like the president's farewell exit. There you go. Music is on.
Hey, speaking of the president's farewell exit, we could talk about AJ's lost bet. It's January 21st, the day that AJ said Donald Trump would still be president. And I don't know about you, AJ, but I saw Joe Biden get the inauguration, the whole deal sworn in. Looks like he's the president of America currently. So I think you owe me 20 big ones, baby.
Wait.
What a ridiculous
Hold on a sec
bet.
there, bud. No. Listen to this, and Freddie could back me up on this. According to a lot of like Southern preachers who prophesized that Trump was going to win.
According to QAnon, Trump is still president. All right, AJ.
Exactly.
So yeah.
According to them, this is, I think, in my opinion, and to the preachers of the South, it's like null and void, man. We'll have to wait. You know what I think?
AJ's political stance now is in the same league as the snake handlers of the South. It's really it's an interesting road you're traveling now, AJ. It's
but
fun.
Listen to this.
Fred's stuff.
Wait.
Like, here's the difference between the Fred conspiracy theories and the AJ conspiracy theories.
Well,
that
Fred
I've noticed
got me on this stuff.
in our
Fred
group
makes
chat,
sense.
and we will get to UFC 257 in a minute. We're all picking Conor, obviously, and we'll tell you why and how in a little bit. Right? We're all picking Conor. AJ, you're not?
Me? I mean, of course, man. But you got to remember, like, I got my. Let me give my spiel after.
I'll get into your spiel, as you say. But see, Fred's like old style conspiracy theorist. Like, there's a nugget of truth in there, and then it kind of expounds, and there's more. You know what I mean? Like, Fred will take like some facts, and then they'll get bigger, and like, you know, he might take a little road with the facts that I might not agree with, but at least there's kind of like basis in fact. AJ's new style conspiracy theorist, he's like QAnon. It's like basis in nonsense, and he's going with it on whatever his gut tells him, and then he just kind of makes up fantasies and stories and whatever he's seen in a meme. Yeah.
Out of us three, who's the most likely to join a cult?
AJ?
Yeah, of course. You know,
for sure.
That's AJ, man.
Easily.
Who's the more likely to lead one?
Me?
I was gonna say me, but
I don't know. It's between you or me.
Listen,
it's definitely not AJ.
Talk about Freddie. Want to hear the best? Talk about cults. When I was working back in the days in the hotel industry, I came across the Raelians. Listen to this. This was the best. And I was wearing this chain that was given to me by my kung fu teacher at the time, and it was like a bagua, but it looked like the Raelian symbol. So right away, if you want to know one thing with the Raelians, all the women that were in the Raelians were like strippers, either former strippers or current strippers or whatnot, and they were like, they're very well known Raelians. And they thought I was a Raelian because of my thing, man. And let me tell you, I came that close, Freddie, that close.
And that's where your love for strippers started?
Yeah, when he was Aurelian for 3 years, AJ joined a cult.
Well, they invited
a cult.
Listen, man, it's not my fault. They invited me, man, when they saw the thing.
It's not my fault. I joined a cult. They invited me. What am I supposed to do?
But anyways,
it
was
impolite
awesome,
to say no when they invite
you
to join a cult. All right, so how's Conor McGregor going to beat Dustin Poirier here on Saturday night? I'm so excited that Conor McGregor is back. We haven't seen Conor McGregor fight since last year. And before that, it had been a while. Wow. You know, Fred, what did you say? He's fought twice in 4 years?
Yeah,
crazy, man.
Twice in more than 4 years.
Yeah, more than 4 years. So he fought Khabib in 2018. He fought Cerrone in 2020. And the last fight before the Khabib fight was Eddie Alvarez in 2016. This guy has not fought a lot.
What about the Mayweather fight?
Well,
don't forget the Mayweather fight. It's a fight.
Doesn't count.
But it counts, man. It still counts. A fight is a fight.
I'm talking about the real fight.
Still,
I'm talking about MMA.
Still, Dave. No. That was a real fight.
All right, take it easy.
Let's not forget.
We're talking about MMA, AJ.
So let's just say in his last
fight. What's the deal over here? What's going on? You got to shout AJ down, I think, at this point, Fred, because he just won't stop. He's a yapping dog. You just got to say, enough, AJ.
No, but listen, hear me out, man.
Huh?
But hear me out. Hear me out for 1 sec.
Here we go.
Hear me out. Listen, think about it. In 5 fights in the last 4 years, this guy has pocketed, including his new business, which is Proper 12, which is a fantastic product. In fact, Ringside Report was the first one to talk about Proper 12 because we did our first taste testing in Canada, and we can prove that it was awesome. But anyways, look how much money this guy's done in 4 years. The guy is close to, he's closer to $500 million than he was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. This guy has made so much money in the last 4 years. Man, don't tell me he's not the most exciting fighter.
Stop talking about my fucking money, AJ, you fucking mook. Shut the fuck up, AJ. Stop talking about me money. The notorious one's got no time for you, AJ.
You need me as your PR guy.
Motherfucker.
We got to give it to him. Hey, I'm just saying,
give it to Conor.
I'm just saying, like, in the past, like, 4 years in MMA, which is the sport that we prefer, okay? Like, okay, boxing is a fighting sport, okay, but MMA, he's fought twice, and one of those times he got, like, beat by Khabib, and the other time he defeated Donald Cerrone. So I just want him to be more active. That's all what I was saying.
Hey, Conor
Earlier, I
doesn't
was
like
saying,
this move. Hey, you know this move?
Yeah,
Conor
which one?
doesn't like this shit,
Like-
bro. Nate
I'm-
Diaz, Khabib
the eagle
Nurmagomedov. Conor doesn't like this shit, bro.
I'm
Connor
predicting
doesn't
that
like
Connor's
the
gonna
eagle,
win.
man.
Rear naked choke. He
I'm
doesn't like
predicting-
that. Yeah,
I'm
of course,
predicting
Fred.
that he's gonna win.
Yeah.
But the thing I want the most is for him to fight another time, like at the latest this summer. Like please fight somewhere in July, August. Like be active this year. 2021, be active. That's all I ask from Conor.
He will be active
Yeah,
because he's got nobody in front of him right now. Khabib is done. Khabib has quit. He doesn't want to fight anymore. Anybody that thinks Khabib still wants to fight is dreaming. Dana White. He doesn't want to fight anymore. Khabib is telling everybody, I don't want to fight anymore. My mom says I'm not allowed to fight anymore. I've done enough. I've got other business opportunities. I'm not fighting anymore. But Dana White doesn't want to hear it. Dana White last week said, there's going to be this big announcement on ABC. 3 o'clock, tune in to ABC because I'm going to make a big announcement about my big meeting with Khabib Nurmagomedov. He goes on ABC and he's like, so Khabib says if Conor or Poirier impress him, or maybe Chandler or Hookah are impressive, he might fight them, and he might fight Charles Oliveira too, maybe. So Dana
Yeah, but
comes
at
out
least
with
that's a
nothing.
possibility.
He comes out with a big
No.
nothing. Khabib comes
he
out.
didn't.
Khabib comes out and does an interview, and he's like, "No, I don't want to fight." There are people that don't believe that I want to stay retired, but I don't want to fight. I've got other things to do. I'm not interested in fighting anymore. This is post-meeting with Dana. Dana is the one who won't let it go because he's trying to get that Conor McGregor fight. He's trying to get that Conor-Khabib rematch, the biggest fight that the UFC could possibly do. But it's not going to happen because Khabib doesn't want to fight anymore.
Dave. Listen to this. Look what Conor does. Conor, at this point, last year when he came out and fought in January with Cerrone, Dana was the first one to say, "Oh, don't worry, you're gonna see Conor fight at least 3 fights by the end of the year." That didn't happen. We're seeing Conor fight in January, and then we heard about Khabib and this whole thing with ABC. You're right, it didn't pan through. But what I think is gonna happen is that Khabib is gonna do exactly what Conor does, and what some MMA fighters that have lasted the years of time by fighting not as often. Guys like Cowboy Cerrone, who fought more times in 1 year than most guys have done in 4 or 5 years. Like there's too much wear and tear. Conor stays back and then he fights. There's so much less damage this guy has on his body, on his mind, on everything, because he's still staying active, but he's fighting that once a year. And I think Khabib, if he sees Conor hold that belt again, which could happen, then it might be a different story. I think Khabib, if he does come back, it's because he's going to pick and choose to fight. But we're going to see a Khabib come back if he does fight maybe once a year fight. That's what exactly Conor's been doing. You know, George took it for many, many years. But when you look at really aged fighters that have actually lasted the length of or the test of time in MMA, they've only fought once a year. Maybe once every 2 years.
Yeah, that's not the deal with Khabib,
it.
though. He's retired. Khabib is retired.
I don't think so,
He doesn't
man.
want to come back and fight. This is a quote from Khabib translated from Russian in an interview he did in Russia. "My mother is the most precious thing I have left. Come on, you won't push me to do things that will disappoint my mother." He has no
I'm gonna
plans
tell
for
you
the
something.
UFC in the near future. "I have left it behind. Don't torment me. Let me enjoy what I have for today. And just so you know, I've sacrificed a lot to get to this level." I don't think Khabib wants to come back and fight. Dana is trying. It's not going to happen. I want to move on. I want to look at what's really going on. What's the future of the UFC lightweight division and the championship? I think that Charles Oliveira, after the win over Tony Ferguson, is in the mix. I think Conor McGregor is going to fight Charles Oliveira, unless Dan Hookah or Michael Chandler is super impressive in their fight, and then they might leapfrog over Oliveira and they might fight Conor. But That's how I see it playing out. I see Conor McGregor beating Dustin Poirier within the first 10 minutes of the fight. He's going to put him out, TKO or KO. He's putting him out. Referee's going to have to stop that. Conor's not going to tap him. He's going to knock him out within the first 10 minutes of the fight, and then he's going to fight for the lightweight championship towards the mid to later part of 2021 against either Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, or Dan Hookah. And I'm not thinking about Khabib Nurmagomedov because I don't think he's in the picture anymore. I'm moving on. And Dana White won't move on. AJ won't move on. But I think Conor is starting to figure out that Khabib's done. And, he's trying to say some things that'll get him to fight again, but he realizes it's over. Here's Conor. Here's a Conor quote on... hold on, let me see here. Where's Conor? I think I got a Conor McGregor quote here for you. Yeah, here it is.
Come on, Dave. Let's get it.
Shut up, AJ.
I don't really care. He did not say that. Dana said that. He said he's not, you know what I mean? Let's just get through the fight. All these men are up here. There's plenty of challenges. And, it's a tough business. And the things have gone on in his personal life. I don't wish him any harm. Like I said, it was in 2018. A lot of time has passed. The world knows this fight is not over. You know what I mean? This war is not over. The sport needs it to happen. The people need it to happen. I'm not going to chase it if he doesn't want it. You know what I mean? And that's it. I'll keep my calm and move on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm back here at the 155-pound division. I'll show the world what's what over time. And that's it. And it begins on Saturday night against Dustin Poirier.
And that's Conor McGregor, and he says he's going to show the world what's what over time. That's what it is. And AJ, you might be right. Over time, Khabib might come back if Conor McGregor is able to hold the title and be a great champion and be a real threat and be the only guy at 155 pounds that makes sense to come back and fight. Right now, there are options for Khabib. There are different fights out there. He doesn't see Conor as this great threat. And I think Conor, he needs this fight for his legacy because everybody remembers him losing to Khabib. And no matter how many guys he beats at 155 pounds over the next couple of years, people are always going to say, yeah, well, he's not really the best because he lost to Khabib. And that might be true. And Conor knows that, and he wants to rectify that in one way or another. So I can't fault Conor for wanting the fight. It makes a lot of sense. He's a competitor. But I think Conor's just going to hold the title for a while, and Khabib might decide to come back, but he might not. And look, I'm leaning towards might not. Fred, what do you think? We know AJ thinks he's going to come back.
Like, for right now, I think we got to assume that Khabib is retired, and he's going to be retired, I'd say, for minimum a year, because, like you say, so Conor is fighting this weekend Dustin Poirier, and after that, it's maybe Hookah, Chandler, Oliveira, and at the earliest, maybe that happens this summer. So, like, that fight's happening, let's say, perfect scenario, it happens this summer. There's no room for Khabib before the end of 2021 and probably even further down the road. And like Khabib said himself, he hasn't indicated that he wants to come back. So, like, for right now, I'm going to believe Khabib. And if you're Conor McGregor, jump on the opportunity. Use it to win, like, 3, 4, 5 fights in a row at lightweight. And maybe then you could, like, call out Khabib to have, like, a super mega fight. But until then, both of them should just, like, move on, and, like, Conor should look at being able to dominate this division, which is a possibility. So concentrate on that, and Khabib, enjoy retirement, man.
Look, the only thing I can say, Dave, is that Khabib right now is really concentrating on his team. He's really concentrating on his fight promotion because he runs that Guerrilla Promotions, which he was working with at the UAE Warriors last Friday. He brought in a whole team of, like, fighters from Russia. It was insane. And in fact, that's where he's at. He wants to build this team. He wants to be, like I said last week, the Gracie of today, the Gracie team of today. And he's doing that. His cousin was fighting on Wednesday's card, Umar. And Umar came in and did a classic, rear naked choke, again, Khabib style. I mean, these guys are fighting machines, man. There's so many fighters coming out of this guy's camp. And that's what's going to keep Khabib busy. He's going to nurture these guys. He's going to get them up to the show. And eventually, he's going to pick and choose a fight of the future. I'm telling you, Khabib is only going to come back once he nurtures this whole team. And let me tell you, man, he has one hell of an impressive team coming up, man. These guys are dangerous. But that's my thing.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I think he has a very dangerous team, but I think he's going to focus on that team. He's going to focus on coaching. I think he's going to try and fill the void that his father has left, as the kind of head coach of that whole team. And I think that's where Khabib's head is at right now. And I wish him well. I wish him luck in retirement. And I just wish that the UFC lightweight division could just move on and we could have a champion. I think that this fight between Poirier and McGregor should be for the title. To be quite honest, Khabib's done. Give it up, Dana. It's for the belt. It's not for the belt, but it should be.
Look. With this there's 4 fights, 2 fights, I should say, going on Saturday, and those 4 guys can be, any one of them could be running for that belt. I think one of these 4 fighters, whoever wins next, will fight for the belt. I think if Conor wins, he'll fight either Hooker or Chandler, and that'll be the fight. And I think that's going to happen. And I think that's what the build-up that Dana wants.
Yeah, Oliveira, I think.
And then Oliveira is going to be there. But I'm telling you, I think if Chandler could win against Hooker, who's like a much taller opponent, and if he could come and really do what Ben Askren couldn't do, it's going to be a different story. If Chandler could come, even though he's 34 years old, if he could come and win impressively, I think he's going to be the next challenge for Conor, because it's going to be a striker versus a grappler, and that's where Conor always has a little bit of issues. So I think that could be a much more interesting fight than Oliveira, in my opinion.
Chandler's not Khabib. Let's be honest here.
I mean, Chandler, this is his first UFC fight, so he's not even ranked in the UFC. And Hooker, he's a good fighter. I like him, but he's ranked number 6. So right now, I'm going to take Oliveira, who's on a nice win streak. Also, I think I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he's been impressive lately. So I'd like to see Charles Oliveira to get the title shot.
Yeah, I don't think Chandler wins this fight here. Just to give you the picks finally for Conor. I'm saying Conor wins by knockout in under 2 rounds. I think it'll probably be over in the first. What do you guys think as far as how it ends?
Look,
Conor, KO, not sure about the round. Yeah, 2 rounds sounds good.
Look, Conor's threat is in the first couple of rounds, and that's what Conor does best. He comes in, and he comes in to kill in the first or second round. That's Conor's game. The thing is that does he have the stamina to continue? A lot of people are saying, no, if Conor goes into the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, it's going to be Dustin Poirier who's going to have advantage. The only thing I could kind of disagree is the durability of Poirier. One thing with Conor is that if he goes past the 2nd round, we always see Conor and we're like, oh, my God, he looks like he has shaky legs. And then all of a sudden he gets the 2nd win, and that's where he comes out strong. Conor is, he wants to win in the first 2 rounds. I mean, even in his press conference today, he was saying, he wants to smoke Dustin in less than 60 seconds. That's what he really wants. And then he goes on to say, but I really want to give a good fight for the fans, and I hope it goes the distance. Look, there's no better striker in lightweight, in the lightweight division than Conor. He's probably the greatest striker of all time. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not taking away from Dustin.
Are you going to give me a pick, fighter. Or are you just going to keep talking about how great you think Conor is? God damn it.
No, man, but I'm just trying to tell you that Dustin Poirier is no joke.
This guy's not getting to his goddamn picks. AJ, I'm letting you go, but fuck.
Fuck, man, I just don't know. I'm gonna say this. Yeah. I think Conor might put him away, but it won't be in the 1st or 2nd round. I think it'll be in the 3rd round. Poirier is gonna do it. He's gonna survive.
Fucking took you.
What, bud? You gotta give some compliments to Poirier. You can't be like that, Dave.
I don't know why.
Yeah, give it to him, man.
Yeah, gotta give it to him.
You gotta give it to
AJ,
Poirier. Come on,
right
give
now
him some
over
kudos.
at bet99.com, AJ, what you said.
Can you put it up?
Oh, fuck. Shut up, AJ. Just let me finish a goddamn sentence. You're killing me tonight. Fuck.
Go ahead, Dave. You've got permission. You got the gavel. Go ahead.
I'm going to fucking get rid of you is what I'm going to do.
Been there.
There we go. Better. So, our friends over at bet99.com have the over 2.5 rounds of plus 145, under 2.5 rounds minus 189. So, the odds makers think this will be a short fight. they have minus 189 under 2.5 rounds. But AJ says it will end in the third. But
Well, I mean, the first fight lasted like a minute 40 or something like that. I checked
Yeah.
earlier. So,
yeah,
you know, like I'm going to expect Conor to be the winner and probably in an impressive way, like he was the first time they met.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, Poirier is a good fighter, so I could see it go 1-2 rounds. But in the end, I got Conor by KO.
Poirier's good, but is he much better than he was last time?
I don't think so. With that said, I think Conor... I'm not sure Conor's much better than he was. Like, I don't know. To me,
I
Conor
think they're both.
fighting twice, man, in 4 years, that's not a lot.
He looked good against Cerrone, though.
Yeah, but that's Cerrone.
Well,
He's a
AJ
washed-up
thinks it's
fighter,
going to
man.
go over 2.5 rounds. I think 2.5 rounds would mean like it would have to go past the halfway point of the third round, right? 2.5 rounds.
Yep. Yep.
AJ, do you think it'll end? That's a tough one to guess, right? Should we bring AJ back?
Yeah, sure.
All right. AJ.
Put me in, coach. Put me
AJ,
in.
do you think, give me a straight answer now. Do you think it'll end? Now, you're saying that it's going to go in the third round. Now, Freddie and I are both saying under 2.5 rounds. We think it'll end in the first 10 minutes. But you're saying it'll go into the third round. But do you think it'll go past the 2.5-minute mark in the third round? Will it end late in the third round or early in the third round? Because over at bet99.com, if it's over 2.5 rounds, you got plus 145. So where would you place your bet, AJ?
He's not going to give you a
I'm gonna
straight
put it in
answer,
the-
man.
No, I know.
Listen, I said the third round, but it'll be like before the halfway mark.
Okay, so AJ's
under
going
2.
with us under 2.5 rounds over at Bet99. By the way, when you go to Bet99.com to wager with us, you get a matching bonus when you sign up using the promo code Ringside, a matching bonus up to $600 they will match, which is pretty massive. You could turn $600 into $1,200 like that by signing up to Bet99.com and using the promo code Ringside. That's pretty cool. $600. That's a big.
It's awesome.
That's a big matching bonus that they're going to give you. They're going to give you $600 just for signing up and depositing $600 in your account. Up to $600. I mean, if you want to deposit $300 in your account, they'll match that too. Another $300 for you. Turn $300 into $600. Yeah, $20
It's a $20 minimum bet.
There you go.
That's
so go
it.
to bet99.com and use that promo code Ringside. Sign up with them, bet with them. We're going to give you some winners here in a minute. I've got some angles. I told you last week, AJ. I told you last week. You weren't listening to me, but I told you. Vanessa Mello over Sarah Morris. That was happening. And Vanessa Mello was a plus 230 underdog, and she came in with the victory. What's up, AJ? I'm good at picking women's MMA, and I've got some women's MMA picks for you here on this card. Okay? And we're going to get to them here in a second. Let's get to the co-main event, though. Michael Chandler versus Dan Hookah. Hookah!
The Hookah.
The Hookah from Australia. Hooker minus 130, the favorite. Chandler plus 107, the underdog. And that seems about right to me. I think Hooker's very good, very talented guy, good striker, tough, durable. He's good, man. I like Dan Hooker. I think he's going to win this fight. I think Michael Chandler is good, but he's not as durable. He's been knocked out a couple of times in his career. He comes in here, the UFC giving him a lot of fanfare, a lot of hype around Michael Chandler, but no disrespect, but isn't this kind of the later stages of Michael Chandler's career? Like, he lost the Bellator title to Patricio Pitbull like a couple years ago. He's 34. Bellator was kind of done with him, and the UFC picked him up, but a lot of people are like, oh, Michael Chandler is going to be a big player in the lightweight division. Even Chandler did an interview I saw. He's like, I'm not going to be the next Ben Askren. And I was like, oh, you might be, dude. I don't know. Because he's like, and what he means by that, if you don't get it, Ben Askren was a Bellator champion who came into the UFC and was kind of a bust. He lost his fights and was in and out in like 3 fights. And Michael Chandler's like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay, well, you have a very tough fight first off the bat. with Dan Hooker. I don't think he wins this one. I think Hooker wins this fight by knockout.
He's got the reach for that, Dave. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, man.
But
he's super dangerous.
Look,
this is a bad matchup for Michael Chandler.
Sure.
Hooker
but let's not forget.
has 20 wins, 10 of them are by knockout. This guy is a guy who knocks people unconscious. He's much taller than Michael Chandler. He's got takedown defense. He's coming off a 5-round war with Dustin Poirier. You know Hooker is resilient. He's 4 years younger than Chandler. I feel like Hooker's just coming into his prime, and Chandler's just about exiting his prime. So I got Hooker big time in this fight. I'm surprised he's not a bigger favorite. Hooker by KO. What do you think, Fred?
I think it makes sense. Dan Hooker's on the way up, and all the Bellator guys, I always question, have they really fought like great competition? Yes, Patricio Freire is a very good fighter, but he lost to him. And I see he defeated Ben Anderson twice, but what has Ben Anderson done ever since he's out of the UFC? He hasn't done that much. So, like, I always see guys at Bellator where I want to see you do it in the UFC. And I've seen Hooker do it in the UFC, so I'm going to go with Dan Hooker.
AJ?
KO sounds good also.
There you go.
Look, no, and you know what? It's a strong possibility, but let's not forget that Poirier beat Hooker. And the thing with Hooker is that he's fighting a guy that's coming with a lot of determination. He's not going to do the same mistake that Ben Askren kind of did. And not to take away from Ben Askren, because he's a phenomenal fighter. But Chandler, man, you know, this guy is so focused. And you know what? The biggest problem with Hooker is his defense. If he plays that defensive game up against a guy like Michael Chandler, I can assure you this: Michael Chandler is just going to toy for him, and this is going to go to distance. And I really believe that Chandler's coming here to prove something, because he wants, in his mind, he's hoping that the better he performs, the closer he is to getting that title shot. And his biggest dream is to fight Khabib. So I'm telling you, I'm giving it to Chandler for this fight, and it's going to be a decision win.
Oh, AJ going
Did you
the
hear
other
me
way.
or what?
Yeah. You went with Michael Chandler. AJ wrong again.
Yeah.
That's okay, buddy. That's okay. We're with you. We're with you 100%.
That's
AJ.
okay. But what if I'm right, bud? You know what's going to happen? Next week's show is going to be like, I'm going to be doing all kinds of like promos and everything of like AJ is like totally right.
Should I just go on and on about how I told you Vanessa Mello was going to beat Sarah Morris? Mello was a big underdog and she came out the winner. You want me to go on and on about that, AJ? Because I could, but I'm not going to.
No, you should talk about the Edwards fight, man. That girl was awesome. Now that's someone that I'd like to watch again.
I told you she was going to win too. She was also an underdog over Wu Yanan.
Yeah, I called that.
I had Jocelyn Edwards. We both had that one. She won last weekend as well. That Max Holloway fight was pretty badass as well. That was a great fight. Oof. Holloway looked amazing.
It's already the fight of the year, you know, and chances are the way they fought, if that makes it to the end of this year, it'll be up there. I mean, it was, wow, man. When you think that Max Holloway, what?
Yeah, I want to stick to UFC 257. I got a question for you guys about that fight, but I want to stick to the card here, the preview, and then we'll get to it. Shut up, AJ. Jessica I against Joanne Calderwood on the pay-per-view. Calderwood right now is the favorite? Minus 116. Jessica I minus 105, the underdog. Huh. Interesting. Interesting matchup here. I feel like Jessica I is going to pull this one off. I'm going with the I. Okay? I think she's faced tougher competition and beat tougher competition. I'm a little bit surprised that Calderwood is a favorite. Jessica I is coming off a loss to Cynthia Calvillo. But Joanne Calderwood is coming off a loss to Jennifer Maia, somebody that Jessica I has beat. I feel like Jessica I has beat a lot of the people that have beat Joanne Calderwood. Caitlin Chukagian, Jennifer Maia. I don't know. I think, you know, it's a close fight. It's an interesting fight, but I feel like Jessica I should win this fight. I think she's a little bit higher level than Joanne Calderwood, and I'm a little bit surprised that she's the underdog.
You know what I'll tell you is both girls are very tough. Like they got a lot of fights, you know, that become scraps, and I'm gonna pick Jessica Ai because I feel like she's a scrapper. She's always in it. She's able to take a beating. But I'll tell you what, Joanne Calderwood is pretty much the same thing. So the odds reflect what this fight is. It could go either way. I'm still gonna pick Jessica Ai by decision because, like I say, both girls are very tough. So I see this going 3 rounds.
AJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I mean, I think this is gonna go to distance, and I'm giving it to I. I mean, Calderwood's fight with Jennifer Maia, man, that was like a disaster. And I don't know if she's completely recovered. She's had, 2 out of her last 3 fights have been losses.
Mm-hmm.
Not to take it away, she's a phenomenal fighter. But if you're gonna pick on this one, I agree with you guys.
What do you think about this Amanda Ribas? A lot of people are excited about her. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She's won all her fights in the UFC. She's 10-1. She's coming off a submission win over Paige Van Zandt. She beat Randa Marcos. She beat Mackenzie Dern by decision. She's a big favorite here against Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez is tough, though. Has only lost to Carla Esparza. That was a split decision. She beat Tisha Torres. She beat Jessica Aguilar. It's an interesting fight. I'm a little bit surprised that the odds are so heavy with Amanda Ribas. I think that's because of the hype around her. Minus 323 the favorite. Rodriguez plus 250 the underdog. I'd stay away from betting this fight because I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
I like
This is a tough one,
I
man.
think she should.
Ribas, yeah?
I think she should win, but I don't bet on people that are like minus 300. I feel it's a little bit of a gamble for not much of a reward,
Yeah, I feel like being this heavy of a favorite coming off a win over Paige Van Zandt, I don't know.
Look, you got somebody, and listen, if you could beat my girl, Mackenzie Dern, you could beat this girl. The thing with Rodriguez is she's coming off a 2-fight loss, and you've got this girl who's coming in to prove something. And again, I'm not taking it away. She beat Mackenzie Dern. And you know what? You're not looking at it as not a fight to pick. You go with this fight. This is as close as sure as you can get. That's it, man. Go with it. Amanda Ribas.
I think you're overestimating the skills of Mackenzie Dern overall in MMA.
What are you talking about, Dave?
Okay, I don't
joking?
want to get into it. We won't get into it. But I'm not so sure about
Dave.
Ribas being such a heavy favorite in this fight. Ottman Azatar against Matt Frivola. I have no idea who these guys are, so I'm not even gonna venture. Ottman is 13-0, 2-0 in the UFC.
I don't know. That's a cool name still.
Ottman Azatar is a German Moroccan. Matt Frivola is 30 years old, 8-1-1 as a pro.
He's 13-0, man. This guy's something.
I'm going with Ottman.
He has back-to-back. Listen, he has back-to-back first-round knockouts.
Huh? Ottman minus 159.
Come on,
the
AJ,
favorite.
that's your generation.
Frivola plus 130, the underdog. We're all going with the Ottman.
Yeah, but it depends.
If he comes into Batman team tomorrow, that'd be good.
Oh, he should.
No, but because his nickname is actually the Bulldozer, which would have been a better name as like the Batman. You're right. But his nickname is Bulldozer. And you know what, Dave? We don't know much about these guys, but like I said, this guy's coming with 13-0 record, back-to-back first-round knockout.
Ottman.
Ottman is the man.
Ottman.
First-round TKO. That's what the odds are saying, man. First-round TKO. So
Ottman
this guy is
future.
hot.
Go with Ottman.
And
Ottman
he's Moroccan.
is
really good fighters from Morocco.
It's a 155-pound fight. These guys are lightweights. And looking on the prelim card, we've got Nasrat Hakparas taking on Armin Sarukian. It's all right.
Armenian.
Yeah. Brad Tavares takes on Antonio Carlos Jr. That's Cara de Zapato, is it not? Shoeface.
Yep.
Cara de Zapato.
Shoeface.
Shoeface, my man.
Oh, yeah, Shoeface, man.
I love Shoeface.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. And Juliana Pena against Sarah McMahon. The line on this one I thought was a little weird. Juliana Pena plus 109 the underdog. Sarah McMahon minus 133 the favorite. I see that as the other way. I'm going with Juliana Pena.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why Sarah McMahon is the favorite in this fight. She's 40 years old. She's been losing a bunch. She's lost 2 of her last 3. She beat Lena Landsberg in her last fight, but she hasn't picked up a notable win since 2016 when she beat Jessica Ai. That was a long time ago. I don't see Sarah McMahon anywhere near the prime of her career anymore. Juliana Pena is, been in the UFC for a while, but she's just 31 years of age. She's coming off a loss to Jermaine Randomie. She has also lost 2 of her last 3, but she's lost to Jermaine Randomie and Valentina Shevchenko. It's not like she's losing to jabronis. You know what I mean? And Sarah McMahon has lost to a couple fighters that I think earlier in her career she wouldn't have lost to, like Marion Renault and Ketlin Vieira. So I'm a little bit surprised at the odds here. I'm going to go with Pena by decision, maybe a submission. McMahon is a good grappler. She's didn't she win a silver medal in the Olympics for wrestling? So she's solid, but I'm going to go with Juliana Pena. I think she probably finishes McMahon. Maybe we go to a decision, but either way, I like Juliana Pena as the underdog to win this fight. Plus 109 right now over at Bet99. What do you guys think? Pena over McMahon, right?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Dave.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not that high on Sarah McMahon. Like she's a decent fighter, but I feel Pena is just a better fighter.
It's a clean sweep. We're all going with the underdog here, Juliana Pena over Sarah McMahon, and bet that one. That's the one where you go with. That's the one we put money on. I'm gonna go with Juliana Pena, Conor McGregor parlay for the night. That's what I'm going to... Conor McGregor knockout Juliana Pena to win. That's the play for Saturday night, okay? That's how we win big money Saturday, boys.
Man, and throw in Ribas, man. Let's not forget. I mean, that would be like...
she's a huge favorite for no reason. She beat Paige
But
Van
just throw it
Zandt. That
in.
doesn't mean shit. Don't just throw it in. We're trying to win money, not just fucking have a good time.
You're going to win with that.
No. Fuck.
And then you go with my Michael Chandler, and you're going to win good money.
Don't go
That's
with
how you
Michael
do that
Chandler.
parlay.
He's for sure losing, AJ. What are you doing?
Listen, you want to make some good money, go with what Dave said, and add Chandler and Ribas, and you're going to make some extra coin, because that's coming in.
No, don't
I'm
do
even
that.
going to bet on that.
Just go
at
with Conor,
bet99.com.
Conor and Pena. That's your parlay for the night, okay? That's your Dave Simon parlay. Go with Conor and Pena for UFC 257. There's some other fights on this card, but, Khalil
Roundtree, that'll be a good
against
fight.
Marcin Pinocchio. Andrew Sanchez against Mahmoud Muradov. I always like a Mahmoud in the UFC. Movsar Evloev against Nick Lentz. And Amir Albazi versus Zalgas Zumagulov. Fucking hell.
I wonder if
Okay.
all these guys are part of like Khabib's team. I got to look into
Yeah,
it.
they're all part of Khabib's team. He's got the biggest team in the world. Every
Well,
guy
man,
named
his team that he-
Zalgas or Amir or Mahmoud
Listen.
or Movsar
Dave.
or like any of these guys, Armin, Nasrat, all these Atman, they're all Khabib's team. Okay, all of them.
Zabit. Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Hooker, all of them. Connor,
Hooker.
sure.
Listen, at the UAE
Andrew
Warriors last
Sanchez.
week, man,
Yeah,
you
Sanchez.
should have seen the team he brought in. Man, Khabib, I'm telling you, man, he's on fire.
Cara de
What's up,
Zapato, Nurmagomedov. Sure.
Nick Lentz.
Okay. Max
Conor.
Holloway and Calvin Kattar, right? Great fight last weekend. Awesome fight. Should the fight have been stopped by the corner after the 4th round? Because Kattar was taking a vicious beating. He was done. He had no chance of coming back and winning that fight. I feel like he took unnecessary punishment after the 4th there. Into the 5th, like, why? Why do a 5th round? He's so far behind on the scorecards. He lost 50-43, 50-43, 50-42. That's a couple 10-8 rounds in there. The guy took a vicious beating. Holloway looked amazing. Holloway looked like the best version of Max Holloway we've ever seen, which is kind of crazy because he's been very, very good. Like, goddamn, Holloway looked good. Pick Kattar apart. Destruction. But would you have stopped that fight if you were in Kattar's corner?
No, not at all. And Kattar didn't want to. No, come on, Dave. Listen, it's a fight, man. It's not a marshmallow like social dance here. these guys go out for war, and in Kattar or Kattar, like Fred says, he came to fight, and you know what? Going into that 5th round and ending it, was amazing. That's what made it amazing.
You're trying to win,
but
and
it's
you're
a
also
sport.
trying
It's
to
a
be.
sport of
It's
combat.
also a business. It's also a business where you're trying to make as much money as possible. And if you're getting fucked up, if you're getting brain damage, it's gonna limit your earning potential going forward. The more punches he took in that 5th round against Max Holloway, the less punches he's gonna be able to take in the 1st round of his next fight, and the 1st round of his next fight, and the 1st round of his fight after that. The guy's his ability to take punches is going to diminish over time, because that's what fucking happens to fighters. Your ability to take punches diminishes over time. Whether you get knocked out or you don't, your ability to fucking withstand that kind of shit, it just goes away eventually, because you can only take so much. You have a fucking limited shelf life. And because he took that damage in the 5th round, he's going to have fewer fights in the future. I say, why? He fucking lost. It was over. Fucking give up, live to fight another day, because that's the difference. Going into that 5th round that proves nothing, that fucking wins you no more money, that does nothing for you, going into that 5th round is probably going to limit his ability to get another payday down the road with the UFC, because he's going to lose a fight that he shouldn't have lost because he can't take a fucking punch like he used to. That's just how fighting works.
I agree.
Listen,
I agree with you, Dave, but it's the machismo, like the fighter, he's not going to come out, and his corner, they're not going to want to do that to him. But I'll say this is, other sports do it. Like, in basketball, if a team is down by a lot, well, the star player, he's sitting, he's relaxing for the next game. In football, it happens. In hockey, it happens. It should happen in MMA also. Like, if you're down by that much, man, live to fight another day. No need to get extra damage.
I think at that point, Fred, what you're saying is somebody should have come in for Holloway, because Holloway at that point, he'd done his work. Like, somebody just come in for Holloway, push Kattar around for a round.
I'm talking about the guy that's losing. Like, in whatever sport. Like, if in basketball your team is down by 30 with 10 minutes to go, well, you're going to sit your superstar and rest him for the next game. So take a rest. Yeah, once in a while, just relax.
Look, Dave, there's one thing for sure in that fight. When you looked at Holloway, it reminded me of the Matrix, man. This guy was bobbing and weaving and circling around punches. He was incredible. When you look at Max Holloway fight and you look at combat sports, man, this guy is he's on top. The guy broke a record again. He threw 602 significant strikes. He hit 350 times on target in 25 minutes. Who can do this kind of stuff? Who can? It's incredible. But again, going into the fact, why did they go into the 5th? It's because Kattar wanted to. He was still wanting to fight. The bottom line is, this is what they do for a living, and I agree with you. There's a time when you can pull away. Like, we've seen some fights, like with Tony Ferguson when we were watching his fight with Justin Gaethje, and we were like, I think that's a good time to throw in the towel. Kattar was still in there, man. He was still throwing in some good shots that could have possibly got him a win. He wasn't as bad as Tony Ferguson against Justin Gaethje. So, you know what? I don't agree with that. I agree that he was able to do it, and he did. He finished and he walked away, man. And you know what? It was a fantastic fight, and it earned him, I think it was fight of the night. So he got extra money. This is what they're fighting for, man. There's only so many fights that these guys have in their career, Yeah,
well, you keep having fights like that, you're going to have fewer and fewer. So Holloway looks great. I don't know what you do with him now. Volkanovski's going to fight
him again.
Volkanovski's fighting, what's his name? T-City. Brian Ortega next. And then we'll see. We'll see if Holloway gets in there again. But yeah, I thought both of those fights with Volkanovski were super close. And if this version of Holloway comes in, I don't know, man. I don't know. Carlos Condit, or as AJ calls him, Condi, with a nice decision win over Matt Brown.
Wow.
I mean, both of those guys looked a little bit.
Nice.
They were past their prime. I mean, I was more impressed with Li Jingliang. Yeah, okay, we'll put him in there with Li Jingliang next and see what happens. Li Jingliang knocks out Santiago Ponzinibbio. He shoots up the welterweight rankings. I mean, you really you want to put Condit in with one of those young lions? He's going to get smashed up. Put Condit in there against
Look,
Matt Brown, and yeah, he's gonna get a victory. But Condit, at this point in his career, I like Condit. I'm a fan, but he's clearly not in his prime anymore. He's seen better days. He's a little slower than he used to be. He's had knee surgeries, He's
Like,
older.
he didn't look that bad in that fight. In fact, it was a really exciting fight, and I thought he did amazing.
Okay,
Come on,
but is
Dave,
he
you're so
ready?
hard on
Is he
these guys,
ready
man.
for the top 10 of the welterweight division? I mean, you're saying he looked amazing, but to me, Li Jinglang looked amazing. Alessio Di Chirico knocking out Joaquin Buckley, that looked amazing.
Wow,
like that's super impressive. The Condit Matt Brown thing to me looked like a kind of co-main event of a Bellator card more than a UFC card.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Look,
right?
Look, Mr.
That's all I'm
Highlight became
saying.
the highlight. That's for sure. But
Yeah,
you know what?
man.
Look, it's hard sometimes. You know what? You think you're so sure with some fights and things don't pan out. And that was one of those fights. Like we all picked the Chirico to lose, and look what he did.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Nice.
Now he's there. He's in the position to
I'm
get
a fan
like
of the
higher ranked
Cheerios
fight.
now. I'm a fan of the
The
Cheerios.
Cheerios.
And I tell you, Punahele Soriano knocking out Dushko
Wow.
Todorovic.
Man,
Now, I picked
that guy
him.
was impressive.
I picked him, but I thought it was pronounced Dusko. But then I saw the show. I was watching the show, and he's coming out, and they're like, "Oh, it's Dushko," and I was like, "Dushko? I wouldn't have picked him if
Like
his
a
name
douche.
was fucking Dushko. This fucking douche." Fucking Dushko? I was like, God damn, pal. I picked Dushko. I know this guy's going to lose. And then sure enough, he lost. And if you saw Punahele's back, like super wide compared to Dushko, and I was like, Dushko's fucked, man. And I was like, I would never have picked him. I thought it was Dusko. I had no idea it was pronounced Dushko. I would never pick a guy named Dushko. Why would you?
But listen,
Terrible.
you got to give it to Soriano, man. This guy came out.
Give it
Wow,
to
was
him.
this guy impressive? I mean,
Give it to him.
he's been out of the game for something, but what a way to come back, man. There was no ring rust with this kid, and he's impressive. And you know what? What is he now? He's 8-0, man, from Hawaii, man. Some of these
Yeah, he's
Hawaiian
pretty
fighters, he's pretty cool, man. And
Punahele.
man, it's amazing. Punahele, man, was impressively. And I'm gonna tell you something. We'll see this guy again very soon.
Impressively. You suck, AJ.
What are you
I tell
talking
you,
about, man? At least I came up with it.
Michael, you did come up with it. Michael Chiesa looked great against Neil Magny yesterday morning. I was watching that fight. Well, in the afternoon, I guess. Chiesa looked fantastic, man. Great fight. I really like that type of fight. Good grappling exchanges, and Chiesa always finding his way on top and in a dominant position. Really nice stuff. I like that fight from Chiesa, and that's a big win for him. Bumps him up into the welterweight rankings. Welterweight division's getting interesting, man. We got some new players in there, and Chiesa's definitely one of them now. The 155 division, he was kind of but now 170, he seems like he's climbing up there. Impressive. Wins over RDA and Neil Magny back-to-back, like, you can't argue with that.
Look, you know what? You know what sucks is that it's very, very, very rare that I miss a UFC fight. But to put a fight on a Wednesday when a lot of people are working, even if they're working from home, they're still working, that sucked for me. And I missed that fight. And you know what? I wanted to see my buddy Munir fight, and I didn't get a chance to see that fight. I mean, why the heck would you put a Wednesday morning, afternoon fight? It didn't make sense.
Your buddy
it's
got
unfortunate
kicked,
because Munir
got kicked big time. He got kicked in the body, and he went down. Worley Alves is a beast. This guy's been flying under the radar
Brazil.
in the UFC for so long. He's such a monster. Sometimes it's just he doesn't pull it together, but goddamn, he's a hell of a fighter. I've been a big fan of Worley Alves for a while, and going in there against Worley Alves, you were like, oh, Munir, and he was a favorite, and I was like, I don't know about this, man. Worley is otherworldly, man. He hits like a truck. I love that guy, Worley Alves.
Listen,
and I
man,
saw,
sometimes shit happens.
If a UFC fighter is training with AJ, I mean, something's wrong. You got to bet against him.
Yeah, right? So let's not forget that George St. Pierre was training with, back in the days of Brazilian Top Team, Pat Cote, and
I'm joking, AJ.
Fighters.
It was a joke.
So
AJ.
let's not forget that. Yeah,
if you're trading with AJ, bet against anybody trading with AJ for sure.
So let me tell you something. Listen, everybody has a bad fight. Everyone.
Yeah.
Connor's had bad fights. Georgia's had bad fight.
I'm telling you, man.
Listen,
Worley.
Munir
His
Laziz
name
had
is Worley. All right? He likes
So
war.
the other guy's name is Laser, man. Who has a better name, Whirly Swirly or the Laser? Listen,
Whirly
so the
Swirly.
Swirly one, fantastic. But you know what? Not to take away from Munir, he'll be back. And when he starts kicking ass, I'll remind you, Dave, who we trained with. But,
Let me remind you about our good friends
unfortunately,
over.
I couldn't watch it.
Shut up, AJ. Let me remind you. You know what? I couldn't watch it either because I tried to log into my UFC Fight Pass and it didn't work. Fight Pass was like down
What?
for a period of time yesterday. I'm paying for Fight Pass. I've been a Fight Pass subscriber since day one. Since the Fight Pass began to exist, I subscribed and I have kept that subscription since the beginning. And yesterday, I was sorely disappointed with my Fight Pass. I tried it on 2 separate browsers on my laptop. I tried it on another computer. I tried it on my TV, and I couldn't get Fight Pass to work. Okay? I was
Maybe
getting
your
this
credit
error.
card was out of
like,
commission.
what? What are you trying to say? My what was out of commission? I don't have it on credit card. I have it on PayPal.
Kattar.
I have it on PayPal, okay?
Oh.
And it's prepaid. It's already paid, okay? You pay one shot. You pay $100 for the year. You wouldn't know, AJ, because you don't pay for Fight Pass. And I got a message for all you guys not paying for things, okay? Dana White's coming for you.
Man,
He's coming for
did you see him today? He
Dana
was
White is
flipping
mad.
out, man.
He's like, yeah, streamers, stream that pay-per-view on Saturday. Watch what happens. We got a surprise for you. And I'm like, God damn. What does Dana have in store, pal? And it's not the people that are watching off a stream. It's the people that are doing the streaming is who Dana's going after,
rolling.
I think. So some of our viewers who may not be watching the fights legally, and I know there are some of you out there, I don't think Dana's coming after you, but I don't know. And if you,
don't know, man.
and if you have a streaming site that you think is going to work on Saturday, it might not. So if you really want to watch the pay-per-view, I would suggest ordering it or, just watching us on the watch-along, and then we'll tell you what happens. You don't really need to watch this pay-per-view. You can just watch us. That's more important. Watch us more than the pay-per-view.
Exactly,
really.
man.
We'll tell you what's happening, and we'll entertain you, and we'll talk mad shit. And AJ will say ridiculous stuff, and it'll be a good time. We'll have snacks. We'll have parties. AJ will drink some sort of strange liqueur. Right. Let me tell you about our friends at Manscaped,
The show's
AJ.
all about having fun.
How about,
Manscaped. Go ahead.
you want to
Dave.
have fun? You need Manscaped. You know what I mean? You want to have a good time? Manscaped. Because
With the aliens?
at the end of the night, you want to have a good time. You need to keep yourself looking good in your ball area. You need to get the Lawnmower 3.0. You need to shave down. This Lawnmower 3.0, fantastic technology. It will not nick you. You can get right down to the skin. You don't have to have fear. I know you hear a buzzing sound. It goes near your area. It goes near your package. You start to wonder, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? Am I going to cut something? You're not going to get cut because the Lawnmower 3.0 has got you covered. They've got your balls covered, and with Manscaped, you can look fantastic, and your balls will smell good. They've got the ball deodorant. Spritz a little of that on. You'll be smelling great. Your balls will thank you. The people that go near your balls will thank you. You will have repeat visitors because of Manscaped and because of the Ringside Report Network, and you use the promo code Ringside20 over at Manscaped.com. You get 20% off your order plus free shipping. That's Ringside20 promo code over at Manscaped.com for 20% off your order plus free shipping. It is a fantastic product. Your balls will thank you. Everybody going near your balls will thank you. If you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're getting into that top north-south position. You know, jiu-jitsu, you get your ass and your balls in people's face. You want to smell good. You don't want to disrespect your training partners. Manscaped.com, Ringside20 is your promo code. Right?
Beautiful, Dave. Beautiful.
You know.
I love the new look, man. The site looks awesome. Looking down at the bottom, like right corner, looking at us like going crazy. I'm trying to remember what fight that was. Was that the Conor fight? It had to be.
I think that was the Masvidal Askren knockout.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Wait, hold on a sec.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
it wasn't
was.
quarantined at that point. You're right.
Yeah, we were all together for that one. That was a good time.
Fastest knockout in history. But what are you going to do, man?
One day,
Anything's
we
possible.
will be back together in the studio. One day. Maybe next year.
Well, listen, you know what? That's not going to happen now. And, like, I know Johnny's on the headhunt for all non-maskers and whatnot. But here in Quebec, what amazes me a lot is yes, we're under curfew. So people that are listening to our show, we have to be like in before 8 o'clock here in Quebec. We can't walk the streets unless you have a dog and you can walk a dog. It's all kinds of crazy bullshit. But the worst part is that if you're homeless, like the government expects the cops to give the homeless people a ticket. Like, I don't know about you, man, but like,
You see
I don't
that?
know how these
Well, I
guys are
don't know
gonna pay
what-
like 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know where you're
Like,
going
I-
there, but I did like that the premier of this province. So yeah, we're under curfew, which is we're the only province in the whole country that's under curfew. So after 8 p.m., between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m., we're not allowed to leave our homes at all. And this has been going on for what, 2 weeks now, guys? Right, couple of weeks under this.
No,
and we do
3
we have
weeks now.
Did they
Isn't it?
extend it?
Well, it looks
No,
like
but
it's
they
gonna be
will.
extended.
Motherfuckers. This fucking guy, Frankie Lego, man. I fucking don't like this guy. He kisses his sister. He's a fucking weirdo. I don't fucking like him.
Who
All
are you
right?
talking about?
The premier,
that, Dave?
the premier of the province, Francois Legault. He kisses his sister, right on the
Where, on the lips?
Yeah, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I saw Deliverance, the movie, man. That's what they
Yo.
used to do back then. Okay, interesting.
Yo,
So
so
get
this
back to
guy,
what you were saying
this
about the-
this
yeah.
sister kisser, okay? This sister kisser is
Biden,
telling us we
hair
can't leave
sniffer.
our house, and he's like extending it and everything, and
I
don't-
got caught, man. I read
don't
on
like
Facebook somebody saying like, "Hey, Legault announced that on February 30th the lockdown finishes." And for a second, I was like, "Oh, what, for real? Let me find it."
look at that guy.
February 30th.
Disgusting, bro. Disgusting.
That's not his sister, dude.
That's his
Come
sister.
on.
That's his, check this out. That's his sister right there, and that's his wife. The other woman is his wife. So this is after he wins the election. He goes to kiss somebody. He grabs his sister, kisses her right on the face, bro. Right on the face. And this is the guy making the rules in our province. So what Fred was talking about, or AJ, the homeless people, right? So there's homeless people in Montreal and around the province, whatever. So they're out past curfew because they have no homes to go to. What are they supposed to do? They're homeless, right? So they're out in the street and they're getting fined like up to like between $1,000 and $6,000 or whatever you could be fined for being out past curfew, right? So they're fining homeless people $1,000, like they got $1,000 to give, right? Ridiculous. And the mayor of Montreal is like, could we have like a easing of the thing so the homeless people can like not get fined? And then the premier, the sister kissing guy, he's like, no, because people might pretend to be homeless to go around this thing. And I'm like, what, dude? You think you're just gonna go out and like dress shitty and maybe piss yourself or smell bad so you could like pretend that you're a fucking homeless guy and get around the curfew? Like, what the hell, man? Like, if I walked outside wearing a pair of fucking $400 sneakers, Yeezys or whatever, and the cops are like, "What are you doing out?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm homeless." I'd be like, "No, you're fucking not, bro. What are you talking about?" You know, it takes effort to pretend to be homeless, and I don't know, man. I just thought it was crazy that the sister kissing premier is like, oh, well, you can't fucking have an exemption for the homeless because people might pretend to be homeless to get around the curfew. Fuck is going on in this place, man? Like, it's a fucking weird world we live in, man. People pretend to be homeless. People aren't gonna pretend to be homeless, get around the curfew, you crazy sister kissing bastard. This guy kisses his sister
Listen,
on the
that's
face,
the first
bro.
time I heard that. I've never heard of that before. This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Which?
And like, you know what? I thought Biden was a bit weird sniffing like kids' hair.
Yo.
Why don't you put up a picture of Biden sniffing a hair? But the thing is that you got Legault here. You got like, what's up with these people in like high office, like with some weird shit, sniffing hair,
Bro.
fucking kissing sisters on the lips?
I'm
What
telling you.
is this, man?
I don't know.
Conspiracy. Freddie is right, man. I know exactly what he's talking about. The reptile people. That's them.
I didn't say nothing, and yo, don't be putting me in that group, man. Fucktard.
Like seriously,
You
like,
stay
I have
in
a
your
sister-
Q cult and don't put me in any of those, man.
Raelians. Listen, that I can't
This show's
believe
gone
that's
off the
real,
rails.
man. You shocked me.
What about what?
It's
The
not,
kissing
man.
his sister? You didn't know that?
Listen. You know, I know this is the first time. It's pretty fucking weird, man. I saw pictures today of Biden kissing hair. Now Legault kissing sisters.
man.
George St. Pierre kissing his extraterrestrials. What the
Where's
fuck is
Hunter?
going on with this quarantine?
Whoa. There are pictures of GSP making out with aliens?
Well, I did send you one, but they They were in a hot tub.
There are
But you
pictures
remember
of
that?
real
Okay, forget it.
aliens? Aliens?
Oh, Jesus, man.
All right.
Look, Conor, as
Everything's
soon as I said
going
that,
wrong.
Conor took a dive.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and when you do, click that bell so you get notifications every time we are on. We will be back on here all together. UFC 257 watch along coming up Saturday night at 10 p.m. And don't forget Wrestling Uncensored tomorrow night at 10 p.m. right after SmackDown. Myself and Johnny North talking everything professional wrestling. We are a week away from the WWE Royal Rumble.
Wow, I wish I could be there and watch it. We had a good time
Goddamn,
last night.
pal. Yeah, I mean, fucking Frankie Legos fucked up my Royal Rumble plans. Like, normally I'd have my brother chilling with me watching the Rumble, but he can't be here past curfew because that's fucking illegal. So I'm going to have to watch the Rumble fucking solo. Fucking
So
hell.
why don't you just get him to stay at your house, man? Get him to
That's
stay
all-
in your house. He just
it's
doesn't leave.
Double illegal. I don't know.
Why?
Everything's so illegal
He's
these
part of your
days.
bubble.
Who knows?
Is he part of your bubble?
I don't think you're allowed to
doesn't
have.
count like
You're
that.
not allowed to have anybody in a bubble. It's not how. Like the laws are always changing. We're not allowed to see anybody. I think. All right.
It's so
And Johnny
messed
North
up. No
says,
one knows what to
Johnny
do.
North is on the chat. He says Sting is wrestling soon. I don't believe you, Johnny, and we'll talk about it tomorrow night on Wrestling Uncensored. So go to ringsidereport.net, follow AJ at Danny Brook, follow Freddie at Freddie MMA, follow me on all the things at Dave Simon MMA. Until Saturday night, thank you for watching. We'll see you again real soon.